Let's check it out, chat.
That is some really good stuff.
How did I know that was going to be the first frame of this video? So this is from 2 AM. The next generation of 3D models is here. 7+ insane details on Arknights Enfield's models, which, again, you guys know, for me, one of the main factors of this game is details, right? Throughout their interview processes, what they've explained to people, they care about details so much in this game. And we've already seen it. The water droplets, the female Enmin's woolly top getting darker in the rain, just the details in general, the little animation stuff, you know, they've gone above and beyond in this game. So let's have a look then. Let's have a look at some of these 7 insane details then, shall we? And see how insane they are.
That is some really good
This is ridiculous, right? Look at it.
What's going on, ladies and
Something you see it running down the face as
Arknights
well.
Endfield is just around the corner, and I can't
Literally.
wait for it to release because they are absolutely going to raise the bar
16 times
when
the
it
details.
comes to 3D character models in these anime gacha games. Now, I wish I could get my hands on the models. I did try to look for them, but I can't find them currently. So it'll probably be a while before they're made available officially, but thankfully for now there's beta footage and we can already deduce a lot from just looking at that. So if we take a look at this clip, one great thing about Enfield models is their hair. To be more specific,
not just the hair, their eyes as well. Have you guys noticed that? The eyes seem to really stand out to me. Obviously other games have eyes that move and stuff, but I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to eloquently express myself. But the game brings so much life to the characters, don't they?
Take a look at this clip.
Just look at them. So, like the small details and the movement seems so natural and I hate to use the word realistic in an anime version game, but they do, right. And then obviously take into effect some of the best mouths in this space as well, in the animated space. Like, it really just brings the faces to life, doesn't it? It really brings the faces to life.
The thing about Enfield models is their hair. To be more specific, how they handle hair shadows and transparency for that anime style eyebrow visibility. And it's not just one technique, it's at least like 4 techniques just for this area itself. The first one being the actual transparency, where their hair has full opacity up here and gradually goes down to about 80% opacity at the ends of the front bangs.
Helps highlight the eyes as well, doesn't it?
The color of the eyes peeking out under the bangs. This is combined with pseudo-transparency, where the hair texture itself gradients from the actual hair color up here, and it transitions to the skin color, as evidenced by these strands. They're not over the...
Bro, it's like even this detail here and these textures, just like above and beyond, I feel. Now, obviously, I won't get, you know, coming from like AAA games and the details you see in character models in some of those games, right? Like, I feel like all of this on Unity as well.
Right now, but they have the skin color. And they do this because when it's actually in front of the face, then it looks like it's semi-transparent. Then you've got the brows and lashes being rendered slightly in front of the hair. This is accomplished by designing a shader for the materials that would be in front of others.
I would imagine, do you reckon that there is the technique that they spoke about in that interview? Because you've got the semi-transparent here and then the color effects to make it look sort of transparent here. But it's literally just matching the face color, because they said that, you know, when it came to like the city areas, one of the things that they found a bit of a bottleneck in terms of optimization for people was that having lots of transparent things like windows and glass and stuff like this, and light having to be light rays having to pass through them, was causing issues, you know, where you went into different areas. Like they wanted to have multiple layers of glass and transparent elements on top of each other, but they came into actual performance issues. And I wonder if that's a reason why, to maybe reduce a bit of the load there, so they can have that true transparency on the fringe and parts of the hair, but then kind of have that pseudo illusionary transparent feel for the painting here. So it takes just a little bit of a load off the back end sort of things. Because if you go through that one interview, they talk about that quite a lot. Some of the tricks they did, where what they've done with some of the interior spaces now, they've basically give you a baked image and then used like blinds and stuff and cast a light source from there through. So it's not like a true outside in viewpoint, but it tricks you into thinking it is that, like. So I wonder if it's something like that.
And yes, this can be fine-tuned to offset just enough so that it goes in front of the hair, but not so much that you would see it from the sides or even the back of the head, because that would be a problem. It's actually the same concept we're using in Goo Engine, where we have a separate material for the lashes and the brows, and we give them a certain offset so that they would render in front of the hair.
Okay, this dude knows what he's talking about, right?
Back, so we can fine-tune that value actually to be very small. And now we can see it in front of the hair, but when we go over to the sides, nice, it disappears when we go to the back of the head. The same concept can be applied to the shader in Unity, of course.
So this guy's like an actual coder. What does he make video games or something? Or does he just do it in his spare time or something?
Line that determines how much offset we're going to put to this material to be rendered in front of other objects. And for those of you that were following my tutorial series, don't worry, we will get to a point where we import it into a game engine and we do the shaders and stuff on the game engine itself as well. Now, I'm pretty sure Endfield takes this a step further where they render it in front, but they also give it a little transparency so that it doesn't look like it's actually floating in front of the hair. It gives the illusion that is in front of the face, like in front of the skin, but still behind the hair. So this offset is usually applied to the brows, the lashes, and even the iris, as you can see here, but not the whites of the eyes. So you can see it for this character as well, right? You can see that these circular brows are definitely mesh-wise behind the hair, but they're being rendered in front and given slight transparency. Otherwise, it would just look like it's literally floating in front of the hair. Then you've got the hair shadows, and these shadows look super crispy and high definition and very controlled. What's really going on here is a technique where they duplicate the front strand meshes and offset them very slightly. So this video kind of demonstrates that. So yeah, they have hair, they duplicate it. This is the duplicated hair, which is black. As you can see, they apply some shader magic onto it so that it displays only when it's closely over something, and it imposes itself on the surface rather than appearing in actual 3D space. So here you can see it in action. It's acting like a shadow, and they've removed all the duplicated strands that are not the front bang strands. And of course, they give it a slight offset. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to see it right under the hair because it's occupying the same space. So yeah, it's a pretty cool, awesome actually, technique, isn't it? And you can see no worries when it's.
This goes again like into what they were saying in that interview. A lot of these techniques that they've used to and that's where good game design comes in, right? They spoke about it with, like, you know, Ardelia's dollies. How they, when they were having issues, when they were spawning, that was causing degradation as well. So I think they switched to them actually literally being 2D, but you don't notice in the game. There was another thing they spoke about in that regard as well. It was Helga's whip in the way that it was created, because they couldn't give it all these sections because that wouldn't work as well. I can't remember exactly the process they said there, but like, it's really interesting, man. You should read through that, guys.
Because you should read through it. The same behavior as a shadow, and since it's just a duplicated mesh, you can just duplicate it after you drape the hair.
Gorgeous,
and those bones will control both the shadow mesh and the actual hair mesh at the same time.
Bro, boys,
so that they just move.
You know we are going to be simping so hard for some of these characters in this game as the game gets further and further into it, right? Like the scenes of simpage, and I'm going to be there. I will be there. Like, look how much I simp for, like, Inez, Ascalon, and Lappy, right? And it's a chibi tower defense game. Like, holy shit, dude. My degenerate arc is going to be starting, man.
Real time with the hair. Now, the thing about this technique is,
or should I say ramping up?
I'm already degen. Cutscenes and not for walking around in the overworld. For example, here in this Wuthering Waves trailer, it's only really in these close-up scenes where you can see.
Game isn't out and we're already simping, right?
Like here. But it doesn't really appear in-game. But yeah, you can see here in-game, it's not applied. No shadows behind the bangs. So in a way, these are techniques that are not really new, like it was just discovered. No, these are techniques that have been known for a while, but for whatever reason, due to maybe limitations or just a design choice not to have it in certain contexts of the game, they're not being used.
If I speak, I will be in trouble. So I choose not to speak.
But I think Endfield is taking a step forward in saying, you know, why don't we use it? Why don't we have this shadow tech just available whenever? Another appreciated detail is their middle hair highlights.
I'm not going to say Again, could never. I don't do those things.
Which sometimes the solution is just a flat texture. They texture on the highlight onto the hair, but here they don't do that. Or at least it's not a static hair highlight. It moves. It moves up and down the strand, but again, it's very controlled. So what's likely going on is they duplicate the hair mesh once again. And on the duplicated mesh, they have a transparent texture that just has the whole middle highlight. And based on the camera position in relation to the character and the hair, they will show certain parts of it, like, so it looks like it's...
Lads, this is a fucking 4-star. Right? Let's just take that into account right there. Do you know what I mean? As I said before, the only thing that separates this from the 5 and 6 stars is they're more neutral, more you know, colourless outfits, right? But I think they look cool. I like the way they've all got the same outfit. Actually, it makes them look like a true faction, right? But like when you actually look at the models and the characters and their animations in game as well, like the combat animations, they don't feel like 4 stars, man. Now, I don't know if that's something that will continue on when we get more 4 stars in the future. And I hope we do continue to get plenty of 4 stars as well. Especially if you're on this level. Give me 4 stars left, right, and centre. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see in the amount we get right. But I'm excited for like the 4 stars that are coming in the future as well. And obviously the 5 stars.
Moving up and down the strand. Now, equally as impressive are their outfit designs, which I would say is one of their strong suits ever since their 2D days. And it looks like they had a lot of success translating that into 3D. And these arguably are now the best looking outfits in gacha, at least when it comes to having a coherent theme.
Don't say that, bro. Don't say that, bro. You're gonna bring in the masses. Don't say that.
Like that overarching techwear theme and the sheer variety of materials that they use that really make the outfits pop. And it doesn't just look like everything is using the same texture, just painted on in different ways, right? You can take a...
Hey, look, I've been saying this, right? I've been saying this. This guy's not really talking about. This is what I've been saying about the outfits, right? Is the level of detail and variations in textures and like, just like this stuff here, like this leather, whatever you want to call it, addition to the outfit, these accents, this texture in here, then this like the way it's stitched in, and then like we've even got like the stitching running down here, and then this different texture and like the designs on the stitching, and everything feels like it's actually 3D modeled rather than like just painted textures, which a lot of games do.
Close look, and you can kind of see and feel that these materials have a different physical texture from each other. Look at that. I especially like this inner material, this silvery, puffy looking thing. Okay. 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 And another good one is Yvonne's jacket sleeves.
Bro's gooning with us. Love
like
to see. Love to see.
Kind of like that raincoat material. No, it looks really nice. Oh, with that, whatever this is called. This clip's a little
right,
older,
I really like that actually,
rain
like on her
textures.
sleeves.
What? Like, wow.
Like they actually like roll down their face as well, right? You see it on the Enmin's mask when you're talking to certain characters. Like you can see the rain running down the face. It looks so good.
Wow.
That's not to mention the female administrator's top as well.
That is some really good stuff. And I have no idea how that works. I'm not going to pretend I know how that works.
Does look really cool, doesn't he? So I mean, again,
I want to mention is
this attention to detail.
Detail that they put in their faces. For example, we got Chen here, and she has those really nice contours on her face, and looks like they're crafted.
To me, some of the in-game facial expressions in this game look almost as good as the expressions that you see in Zenless Zone Zero in their cutscenes. Do you know what I mean? Because I've been one to glaze Zenless Zone Zero's cutscenes because I think they're brilliant. Sometimes they might look a little bit too rubbery, right? But the rigging, their animations, the facial expressions. I think Zenless Zone Zero, it's so freaking good in that. Like I've said before, I would watch a Zenless Zone Zero series animation done in Zenless cutscenes because it's that good. Like I think some of the facial expressions in this in-game on just some of the the default animations and stuff is almost at that level. And like that's saying something because the cutscenes in Zenless are fucking brilliant, man.
For each character, every character has a unique face shape. right? Chen's got those puffy cheeks, but he also has that sharp, pointy chin. And Chen's model is really good. Like, it might be a level higher than some of their other models.
She's beautiful, though.
Because when you pause and look at her face, it really looks like a drawing come to life in 3D. Like, that's how close it is to the 2D art. Anyway, super excited for this game whenever it comes out. If you have any other suggestions on things that you want me to look at, or aspects that you want me to...
Nice to hear about it from somebody who knows what they're talking about, right? Because obviously when it comes to all the stuff with the hair and those tricks of the trade, I ain't got a clue. I'll just look at it and go, that look good. Right. My monkey brain goes, wife. Right, that's it. That look good. And that's about as far as my knowledge goes, right? You know, I like monkey brain, bang, tambourine, right? You know, that's it. But yeah, it's kind of interesting to see the little techniques that they use and the illusions, if you will, that they employ to give the effects of things that are happening that maybe not quite happening. And that's the beauty of game design, right? A lot of stuff within game design comes down to trickery, right? To make you think something looks like something when it's something else. And that's a really cool part of video game design, actually. It was really cool, actually. This is interesting. Again, like I say, I'll just come up from a really basic bitch angle where we got a little bit more extra info. I'm going to subscribe to this dude. I like this. This is interesting. I don't know what other videos he does. I'm guessing he does a lot of stuff around game design and stuff. But yeah, that was cool. That was. All right, nice one. Shout out to whoever shared this in the Discord, guys. Appreciate it.